Hey guys, so in this video, I just wanted to talk about who we are. You know, when you ask a person who they are or tell me about yourself, they always start off with, my name is this and that, I am this and that, I do this and that. But then, in actuality, that is not who you are. Because most people love to identify with their names, their status, their positions, because it fills the ego. Yeah, I'm a billionaire. It sounds good, right? I'm a trillionaire. I'm the CEO. We love to identify with these things that fill up our ego. But then in actuality, when you ask somebody on an introspective level who you are, most times you can't even say who they are because they identify with their names, their positions, and their status. We were told we were created in the image of God, and we're spirits having a human experience. This body we have is just a shell, and the name we have is just to identify the shell. It's kind of like patients. Patient this, prisoners, inmate this. They're just names to identify in a certain situation. Our names don't define us. Our names don't say who we are. We're spirits having a human experience, like I said. We can choose to adapt any name, any status, any title, as long as you know who you are in spirit, who you are in the soul. We have the mind, body, and soul. That's the Holy Trinity right there. Your mind controls your reality. Your body is the shell that holds the mind and the organs. And your soul is the powerhouse that controls everything. And they can't work without each other. You can't function without a mind. You can't function without a body that's functioning properly. You wouldn't even be alive without a soul. So most people love to identify with the ego because the ego seems to want to protect you. Yeah, I'm this, I got that. And that's all for the ego. And the ego is just a part of the human mind that's meant to limit you from stepping into that full potential. The ego is scared. The ego doesn't like change. The ego doesn't like uncomfortable situations, doesn't like unfamiliar situations. That's why it'll always keep you boxed in. Some people feel they're too big to do certain things because the ego tells them it doesn't identify with the title you've given yourself. But then if you operating from the soul, you're very conscious of the fact that you're a soul in a body being driven by the mind. All those external status and title, it wouldn't affect nothing, bro. It wouldn't do nothing to you because you know it's deeper than that. That's why most of the richest people we have today, they get to a point where they get so much money and they just live the most basic life because they know the money doesn't identify with who they are. That's the result of the hard work they put in, or the results of them creating change for people. That's why they got the financial aspect of that. But then to identify with the money and status and all that, it makes no sense, bro. Because you can't take that shit with you once you're out of here, bro. The only thing you take with you once you leave is your soul, literally, bro. So when most people say they're this, they're that, that's just the title they gave themselves because it fuels the ego. But then if you really know your purpose, you really know what you want to do, you really know what resonates with your soul, you know you could always switch it up at any time. You're not limited to nothing, bro. If I wanted to change my name today, I can change my name because it's just a title. You feel me? If I wanted to change careers today, I can definitely change it because it's just a title still. It doesn't resonate with who I am. What resonates with me is what my soul is calling for. If my soul tells me I want to do this, I want to be a rock climber, then I take on the title of a rock climber. If I say I wanted to be a basketball player, my body's gonna take on that title of a basketball player, but then it doesn't say who I am deep down. That's one thing people always confuse with identity. When you ask a person, tell me about yourself, they tell you about all their titles, their status, and all that, and never telling you about who they really are within. If you ask me who I am, I'm gonna just tell you my name and what I feel like my calling is. I love to create. I love art. I love being creative. I love expressing myself. That's who I am. I love to help people when I can. That's who I am. See, it has nothing to do with the name. That's just my name, so they can identify me. Literally, that's what it is. So you gotta find a way to detach from the ego and see yourself from a higher perspective, to see yourself as the God you are. Because once you can see yourself from that perspective, you have total control, because you already know your purpose. You already know you're a soul, you're a spirit in a shell having a human experience. And once you're done with this experience, we transition to the next stage, and that's death. And I don't know nothing about death. So people should learn to identify with their purpose and soul calling, and not necessarily the status or their names, because all that shit is temporary, bro. You can't take none of that with you once you leave, bro. For real. And that's one thing I started to realize, that I can always switch it up. I'm never limited to what I've been accustomed to believe I am. You feel me? It's just about knowing yourself and knowing what resonates with you. Your name is just a title so you can be identified. Your job is just a title because you work there. And if your soul's calling is for your job and you gladly take on that title, shit, you're living your true purpose for real. Real shit.